Davey, I watched the producer's cut. I watched both the theatrical and producer's cut back to back, same day. So I spent 3 hours watching Halloween 6. I thought of you because I know you prefer the producer's cut. So I
Yeah.
thought to myself, you know what? I want to see what Davey's talking about. It's been a while since I actually sat down and watched the producer's cut. I usually always watch the theatrical cut. You're right to a point. I still slightly prefer the theatrical cut. That's a warm blanket. The producer's cut, there is a vibe to that movie that I did
Yeah.
not really pick up on as much before, but it does feel a lot more consistent. And I really warmed up to the score much more
Mhm.
this time.
Yeah.
Man, maybe it's because I had it on my 65-inch. It looked fucking glorious. And then I had my sound bar. I got this new sound bar that's like really nice. Cranked it up as much as I could. My ears almost bled. And the score, there's a lot of parallels to the first movie with the score. And
Mm.
it does do some things on its own as well. But I do think the score feels more consistent. And it's very different than the score in the theatrical cut. And that's
Oh
not a
yeah.
knock on the score of the theatrical cut. I like the theatrical having that rock inspired. You have the guitar freaking yeah when Larry's just like
Pinch
walking down.
harmonics.
Yeah, I don't know why don't we got to get a guitar solo, but but yeah, and maybe it's because I've watched the theatrical cut like 900 times, but
Hmm.
it was a vibe. It was really nice. And I have my problems with the last act. Join us. You have talent. That line definitely makes me roll my eyes. But man, overall, the producer's cut, it's the warm blanket of the
Yeah.
franchise. And the good thing is I will rewatch the producer's cut just because of that score. I love the score in it. And I don't know. It's too. It's more cohesive with the
Yeah.
story. With yeah.
Yeah.
So
There
yeah,
there's so
Davey,
much
man, you kind
more.
of won me over a little bit.
Yeah, I recently rewatched those. I mean, I grew up with the one that we all grew up with, which is the theatrical cut. So that was the one that I watched, so many times until I picked up the producer's cut maybe like 10 years ago, 12
Yeah,
years ago, something like that on Blu-ray. And man, it watching them back to back, because I 3 nights ago I did the theatrical cut, the next night I did the producer's cut,
yeah,
and never before have, like, I've noticed certain things, like the producer's cut. If you love the character of Loomis, the producer's cut is your
yeah,
cut. If you don't
yeah,
like Loomis, or you like shitting all over him, then yeah, theatrical cut is the way to go, because they remove so much of Loomis from here. They put him in the hospital when Tommy runs into Loomis when he has the baby, and he just, in the theatrical cut, he just runs into Loomis in the hospital. Why is
yeah.
Loomis at
He
the
does.
hospital? No reason. No reason, because the reason why he's at the hospital is because Jamie was still alive and was brought to the
Yeah,
hospital in the producer's cut. So there's just so much more cohesiveness going on with the story. You really feel a bigger sense of betrayal from Dr. Wynn. Now, the betrayal in the theatrical cut is just like a rug pull, but in the producer's cut, there's a lot more of Wynn and Loomis kind of
yeah.
tag teaming this whole thing and going along with each other. And so it brings more stakes and more value to that storyline there. There's little simple things like in the theatrical cut, why does Paul Rudd open up with the narration as Tommy Doyle? The audience has no idea who that is unless you've already seen the
Who the
movie.
fuck is that?
So in the producer's cut, it's Dr. Loomis, and the dialogue's a
Yeah,
little bit different, and it just makes so much more sense.
that's a nice
And then
touch too.
and it comes down to little things like no more of the like editing, no more epileptic fits on the editing, and a
Yeah,
way better score, a score that feels more like the original. Not only that, there are these shots where Kara's walking around the college campus, and then when she
yeah.
comes home and she's walking around the house, those shots, the editing just breathes so much more. Joe Chappelle
That's
put
a good
together
word for it.
something.
Breathe. Yeah,
Yeah, just like it lets it be. And Joe Chappelle put something together here that was really close to like that original Carpenter feel, and then they just totally fucked it up with what they did in the theatrical cut. So I
and
mean, there's
by the
other little
way,
differences too, but yeah.
yeah, H2O totally stole the ending of the producer's cut. If you ever think about that, the bait and switch. They do it in the producer's cut. Yeah, that's
yes.
H2O completely stole that.
And I will say this, the runes, yeah, they're pretty weak. The end comes really quick in the producer's cut. Neither cut has a good ending, because it's not a better ending to have is it a lead pipe that he kills Michael with, or is it actually the editing? Is it the editing that kills Michael? Because he's got this green blood coming out of his mask.
Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah, it's just all this. I don't know. Neither ending is great, but at least in the producer's cut, it doesn't seem like they just like left Loomis there on the side of the road next to the hospital. Like Loomis at least has a little something to do.
There's a couple of stingers from Halloween 2 in the producer's cut. Did you ever notice that?
Oh yeah.
I wish I could I wish I had like the stinger up on my little mono pad there, but yeah, there is, if you watch it, there are a couple of stingers from Halloween 2 that pop out. And the scene where he pulls the bed sheet back, where you got the girl laying on the bed. In the theatrical cut, it's and then metal slamming against metal. And in the producer's cut, it's kind of that Halloween 2 stinger, you know?
Yeah, and they do weird stuff too. Like some of those jumps, in the theatrical cut, they add this really loud noise. Like when Kara's brother like surprises his girlfriend towards the beginning of the film. And then in the producer's cut, they don't do a stinger. It's just the visual. It's just the visual jump. It's just a little more respectable or respectful to the audience.
It's the both cuts are so different, not just in like story decisions, but also just the total vibe, the music, everything. So I think the good thing about both versions is some days I might be in the mood for the theatrical cut. Some days I might be in the mood for the producer's cut. And both times I could equally be satisfied. And that's what happened when I watched them back to back. I enjoyed the theatrical and I enjoyed it. And I liked that they were both, so they were different enough to make it feel like two separate experiences. Okay. So Nick, passing it to you, I believe you prefer the theatrical cut like myself. Tell us why the theatrical cut is the total fucking boss. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you know, I can concede the point that the producer's cut is more narratively coherent. You know, the theatrical cut excises certain things that I think are pertinent to understanding the overall plot that Daniel Farrens was going for. Now, granted, I don't view it that way, and it doesn't confuse me because I've seen both cuts. So it's like I can fill in the blanks, but you know, a normal person might be like, well, what did that mean? At the end of the day, you know, you get into an argument. It's more just like what you prefer, what works better for you and why. But I've always said for a long time that the producer's cut may be more narratively coherent, but that doesn't mean the narrative is coherent. And what I mean by that is, yes, the story that Daniel Farrens was trying to tell is more present in the producer's cut. However, I don't find that story to be really all that compelling, interesting, or well thought out whatsoever. I feel like a lot of it is out of left field, doesn't really make a lot of sense. We're adding unnecessary things just for the state. I mean, it's sequelizing. I understand it, but like, yes, we have to have a new member of the bloodline. Why couldn't Jamie just be the last one? Doesn't really make any sense. Oh, well, because of this curse and this constellation in the sky. And like, it's just like, when you really start to dissect it, you're like, yeah, Daniel Farrens he was on some strong drugs when he wrote this. And like, I'm kidding because we've interviewed Daniel Farrens and I totally get where he was coming from. I just don't find that narrative to be really all that coherent. And if anything, we always talk about that any explanation for Michael Myers is inherently going to weaken the character. That's just true. Whether we like the explanation or not, it's going to weaken him. And this one, I think, weakens him more than any explanation we've been given in the franchise's history, because it literally just seems like he's a slave to other people. He's really just like the muscle. He's not the operation. He's not the man behind the mask. Or,
you don't control Michael Myers.
And it's just kind of like, oh, awesome. The boogeyman is really just a hitman for hire. Like, cool. That's so fucking awesome.
But both versions of the film make it feel like that. But yeah, the producer's cut does state it more explicitly.
Well, there's great.
I get that from the theatrical cut too.
Yes, like the theatrical cut. The theatrical cut removes the idea that Myers is the father of Jamie's baby.
Yes.
Like they completely cut that out. And I love that they did that because
That's
why?
it's unnecessary. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things where it's like, we didn't need to do that. Like,
Why did you do that?
Jamie could have had a baby from somebody else in the cult. It didn't need to be Michael. That's still his bloodline. Like the fact that you make that Michael is like really weird. But that's the thing. Like, you're not wrong. And I think that the theatrical cut excising some of that makes it an easier swallow, because it's like, okay, I know it's there, but it's less there here. And I can jive with that a little bit more. But also, I just think that Halloween 6 is, I mean, Christian and I have talked about this for years. It's just heavy metal as fuck. And like, it's not just in the score in the theatrical cut, but like Michael Myers, I did a video on this the other day. I think it's the scariest Michael Myers. I think from the way they shoot him to the way they light him.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
How this Michael does not give a fuck. Like he
doesn't.
He's literally
scared the living shit out of me.
Yeah, like there's something about this movie, and I think the theatrical cut plays into that a little bit more. Like that operating scene, that operating room massacre, dude, holy
legend.
fuck. Like,
I love in the producer's cut.
No, and I love that scene so much. So I agree. Yeah. That's why I've always been here with it. Like, if you say you prefer the producer's cut because it gives you more of the story they were trying to tell, I totally understand that. I can't argue with that. I just wasn't a huge fan of that story. So the less of some of that, the better. The more straightforward it is, the better for me. And also, last point, I think the ending of the theatrical cut takes a giant shit on the producer's cut's ending, because if nothing else, that scene of Pleasance and his last line delivery in the franchise saying that he has the business to attend to here, and that long stare, that pensive stare as it zooms out, you as the viewer watching that, it's almost like a goodbye from him. Like it's a moment where it's like, yeah, sure, we have the lead pipe before that, and we have the mask is on the ground, he escaped. But like that moment for me was like, that's such a more dignified send-off for Donald than the like, oh my god, look at this shitty CG thorn symbol that's appearing on my wrist, let me just yell and the movie's over. Like I much prefer that send-off. I just think that was like, I don't know, there was something, it's almost like Donald knew. Like he knew he was in poor health. Obviously, he had a heart surgery like right before filming this. So like he knew he didn't have much time left. And I feel like every time I watch that, it's like his goodbye to the fans. And like, I don't know. It's just, it hits me.
Well, hello there. You just watched an outrageous clip from the Hit the Bricks podcast. I really hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more clips, you can click here or you can click here. And you can just have yourself a ball, all right? And also follow the Hit the Bricks podcast on Spotify as well. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.